Everyone, welcome to Castro today. And we're going to start standing in mountain position. Mountain position is a yoga move that we often do when we just want to feel like a mountain. So you're going to extend up through the spine as long as you can make it, with the crown of the head, which is the back of the head, as if it's lifted by a string all the way up so that you get completely straight if you can. And we're not perfect bodies, so sometimes one side wants to go higher than the other or whatever. Don't worry about it, but just feel that length. And the length will start in the feet, but basically it moves up through the perineum, through the central meridian, all the way up to the crown of the head. And the crown of the head is not what we usually think is the middle of the skull. It's basically the back of the skull for these practices. The idea being that you connect the cervical spine of the neck by bringing the chin in a little bit, close to the chest, and that you keep the head, the chin itself parallel with the earth here, and lengthen through the spine, opening the chest as much as possible without tightening it back, but it's an open chest. And then you bring the palms forward, and that is mountain pose. When you think about the back body, there's a connection from the crown of the head all the way through the cervical spine of the neck, and then the thoracic spine of this area here in back, and then the lumbar spine, which is the low spine here, and then connect that point right here in the back, connects all the way down to the tailbone, which basically is pulled in a little bit because you're using your core muscles. So inhale here for a moment, lengthening. Breathe into the belly and exhale back towards the tailbone, and you'll be using this area here, your core, to expand the belly, and on the contraction of it, you're using your muscles there to pull the belly in. So you might want to inhale, open the belly, bring the hand out here to signify that you're opening. Exhale back, bring the hand close to the body and push back. And that's the sense of the energy C happening. So let's do a couple breaths here, lengthening through the spine. I'm going to use a breath where you funnel the lips for the inhale and funnel them out for the exhale. It feels like you're sipping through a straw. So inhale to expand the belly, exhale to contract it. Once again, inhale through the straw. Exhale back. So a lot of people don't know when they're exhaling and inhaling. That's a good little game to play with yourself. The other little game we want to play with ourselves for T'ai Chi Chih, 19 movements in one pose, is making sure we get all the joints relaxed. So let's do that just by shaking everything out. We stood in mountain pose for a moment there, and now we need to just release any tension in the body. That's it. Just keep shaking. Fingers, toes, the legs, everything. Good. That's it. Hop around. Why not? Yeah, just getting relaxed, because often before classes, we are worried about the class. So don't worry about my class. Have fun. All right, we're going to come now into triple burner, inhaling all the way up. I'm going to come a little bit closer to you. Exhaling all the way down through 3 Dan Tiens. 1 on the exhale. Preparing for the second one on the inhale, and then slowly exhaling down through your 3 areas of energy: the head, heart and lungs, and the abdomen. And as slowly as we possibly can, because most of us live very busy lives, and slowing down is the hardest thing in the world for us. So inhale slowly and feel a long exhale. Beautiful, nice. One more. Good. So that is 3 triple burner moves that are within this move of triple burner, 3 moves. They're just all so fluid that it feels like one. The next one is also fluid. And you'll find with all of this, there's a lot of circling, which is we call in Tai Chi Chih and Qigong circularity. So we start now with the palms just above the shoulders and maybe a little bit out from the body so that there's no tightness here. And exhale down. And then inhale through the central meridian, your central body, and push the palms up the other way towards the sky. And this is Buddha picks up the earth. Feel the long exhale. And now the inhale and the release. And we'll do one more of Buddha picks up the earth. Don't forget to turn the palms up here and then have them face down on the exhale. Beautiful. All right, our next move will be the accordion. This is to open up our breath laterally, so you're standing really tall. Your palms are just outside of your breast. You're going to inhale out to expand, breathing in through the nostrils and the tummy. You're going to exhale back to contract. And it's very much like an accordion player you might see on the street playing music. Here they open the instrument, and here as they make the music, especially a long tone, this will be a long exhale. One more of the accordion. Inhale to expand laterally, the rib cage and the tummy will feel the same thing. And exhale back. And let's ground this through the floor. Once, resting on globes of energy. And now we're going to do a side-to-side weight shift, bringing all your body over to the one side, over to the left, and then the right. I am mirroring you, so you just need to follow what direction I'm going. Good. Nice. All right, now we're going to stand in this, a rider on horse position, as if there's a little horse between you and you're sitting on it. Okay, a little bit of bending of the knees and your feet are out like this slightly so that the knee doesn't surpass the toe. You want to make sure when you drop down that you don't drop down too far, just about like that. And then the tailbone will come in so that you keep your spine long. And then it's possible, if you do that same weight shift that we just did, side to side, that this is how it'll look. So we talk about sinking and rising. We already did the sinking. And when you bring in one foot, that would be the rising. Let's go the opposite way. So now you're in a sinking position. Don't forget about that tailbone that it's in. Using your core here to support yourself. And we'll come back to this foot and bring the other leg in. And then we ground. We ground, there's a little bit of release again. So that's sort of the essence of sinking and rising. The sinking is never that great, never so great that you can't see your big toes, at least the end. And the rising is when you basically stand still and inhale for it, lengthening the spine. So that the whole idea of breathing and articulating this with a long spine is so important. Otherwise, we lose our ability to breathe from here. So we don't want to bend over or anything like that. Or if we do bend over, we bend over from the hips. So here, if we do this basic Qigong move, which is the fountain, you can fold forward from the hips with a flat back, bring the backs of the palms together, come down, rounding the back, inhale back up, open for the fountain. There's an inhale. As you go back down, Start to exhale, bring the backs of the palms together and exhale, fold forward from the hips, flat back and release. That always feels so open to me when you look up like that. It feels so great. You've basically done a slight back bend of the upper spine. So be careful, make sure you support it from below with a strong core. And one more. Folding forward from the hips, flat back, round the back for the exhale, touch the earth, bring the backs of the palms together and inhale back up. And we've done the fountain. It's a really beautiful, glorious move. It looks like you're able to do that quite well. And I love that one. Let's shake it out though, because we just don't want to add tension to our everyday lives. Shake it out. Good. Let's bring our palms out to the side and we'll do some circles forward. Now you're using your long spine and it's very open. Chest is very open here. Use your core to support you. Circling the palms forward and then circling them back. And notice that your elbows are not ever locked. Locked would be if you get really tight here. Make sure nothing gets tight. That's your forward. This is your back. Circle. Back. Yeah, like I was thinking of it as swimming on the back. All right. Now let's work with our shoulders here. Fingertips on the right inside the shoulder there. Inhaling the arms out with the elbows here. Elbows are going to come forward, up, back, and down with the fingers. Everything's getting now connected, all those joints. And the fingers are moving with this circle that you're making with your hands, your palms. Good, so that's forward, up, back, and down. Let's go back, up, forward, and down. Inhale, and exhale forward. You want to connect your inhale and exhales with your movements. And even if it's not the same pattern of inhale, exhale for you, make sure you always are breathing and not locking the breath. Good, let's go, we'll finish up with this forward, up, back, and down. Good. And let's play the air guitar today. So bringing your fingers over here, we're going to do a spinal twist, which will be here. Fingers are right there. And you're going to twist up this way. In an arc. You'll have to let the foot that's has the arc on it right here. You'll need to make that go free here. I may find myself freeing the heel. Good, let's come back to center. And we'll go the opposite way. The arc will be this way now. So we're going to twist over here to your left and free the back foot. And free the fingers like you're playing all the frets of the air guitar. And since I don't play air guitar, this is sort of a game thing. It's a nice image. Good, come back to center. Sink it through the earth. Double ground it. Very good. Really, really nice. Okay, so we've got a few more moves that I love. And this is picking up a feather on this side. This involves some weight shifting. And dropping it down, the palm flattens. Coming over here, picking up the feather with the thumb and forefinger on the inhale. Flattening the palm, coming back. Notice how the back foot is free enough that the heel comes up. And the other side as well. You're extending that leg in back. and releasing the heel. And remembering, because I sometimes forget myself, to flatten that palm on the way down on the exhale. And last one. Beautiful. Okay, let's inhale and ground that. Our first two movements in Tai Chi Chih essentially are considered very important for grounding, but I think we do better when we get some warm up through the body. So let's do our hip circles here. So shifting forward, come down into your rider on horse position and shift forward with the pelvis to the left, back with your pelvis to the right. So actually this is right for you, left goes over here, forward, this way, back, this way, that. Okay, so right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, forward. Okay, now just make a circle out of it. But this is great for the connection between the low spine and the hips. So you might want to have your thumbs on your hip bones. I like to do that personally. Or the other thing you can do is put your finger in the middle of the low Dan Tien and make the circle from there. So the circle, the point in the middle of the low Dan Tien is 2 inches below the navel and 1 inch inside, because we're working internally. Okay, let's circle the opposite way doing that method. To your left and around. Right, forward, left, back. Now left, forward, right, back. You want to be able to do 2 directions. Yeah, it's said that the 2 directions of the clock, clockwise and counterclockwise, should be in every movement. Essentially, they are when we do both right and left foot. Okay, let's inhale here. And exhale. We're almost ready. We just have one more little thing we need to do for the joints. And that is bringing the knees together and the feet. We're going to support coming down with a flat back here, inhaling, exhaling right here. Take hold of the knees with both hands and circle to your right, forward, to the left, back. Just what you did with the hips, getting those 4 points. And maybe when you get forward bending and then coming back, unbend so that you feel the 4 points completely. And then go the opposite direction with your circle. And then when you're finished, straighten the legs a little bit without locking the knees. Come down the legs with your fingers all the way down the shins, touch your ankles, and come back up, touching your shins, your thighs, coming to the midline here, right in the abdominal area. Let's do a little bit of tapping. So coming down through the insides of the legs, outsides of the legs, the buttocks, the stomach, right here under the breasts, coming up to the central chest here area, tapping on your lung points, coming down one arm from the top down, and then from the fingertips up through the inside, back down again, inside, coming across the chest with your tapping, and the opposite arm, top to bottom, and then inside, top to bottom, inside. And then we can just rub the palms together, perhaps rub down the arm, down the other arm, Even across the collarbones here, you can just do little circles right behind the shoulders there where we hold tension, letting it go, and then rub down the legs and come back up on the inside and outside. And then we should be ready again for mountain pose and to begin our Tai Chi Chih. So feeling strong like a mountain, long like the top of the mountain, palms are forward. And we'll begin with rocking motion, forward, back, up, down, weight shift. 19 movements and one pose. As you come back, feel the toes lift. As you go forward, feel the heels lift. Notice that you have a figure 8 that's forming with your fingers and palms. As you pick up the energy from the earth and turn it over at the top of this 8 here. And know that I don't ever show student pictures on my recordings. So if you're here and you want to show your picture and are worried about it, don't be. Just enjoy it. We're in community now. So here you are, picking up the energy from earth, turning it over, sending it back towards earth. And we'll do 2 more slowly. Inhaling here. Exhaling at the top of the 8. Inhaling energy from the earth. With the inhale here towards the heavens. When you get towards the heavens at the top, you turn it over to return to earth. And we'll send this through the earth with our grounding. Exhaling here. That was rocking motion, and we're going through the entire list here of what's here for the 19 movements in one pose. What I just took off is the healing sounds at the end. I'll put them up at the end. So that was rocking motion. Now we have bird flaps its wings. This is another warm up in that you're shifting both down with the feet in a V like a bird on the edge of a branch like this. When you do that, the heels lift because you're right on the edge of that branch and the branch is holding you. Here you are right on the edge of it. And as you inhale here, you're lengthening the body. That's called sinking and rising. So this is sinking. And you can rise simply by still coming to all 3 points of each foot. And that's rising on the inhale. That's all there is to it. We do 3 cycles here. A bird flaps its wings. Inhale, release. Feet are in a V position with the toes facing out a little bit. Making sure that if you want to, that the knees don't go when you look down beyond the big toe. When you get to the 3rd one, you do a wrist circle forward. And inhale slowly back to lengthen through the spine and lengthen the legs without locking them. 2nd cycle of bird flaps its wings. And have fun. You're just a young bird. It's your first flight. Third cycle. Good. Takes a lot of focus, doesn't it, to go this slowly? Yeah. Inhale. And now release to ground. So you're going to exhale down and double ground it. Means we take the energy to the heart on the inhale here, and then slowly exhale it towards the earth to double ground it. It's moving towards the ground with the exhale, but it rests on globes of energy right here, opposite the low Dan Tien or energy center. From here, we go into some forward back weight shifting, and we're going to first shift to your right and to your left. I am mirroring you as I move to my left, this to your right. The knee bends here and the other knee straightens. So there's a lot of bending and straightening in this. I just felt this one bend. I felt the other one straighten. Now I feel this one bend and the other one straighten. So that's called yinning and yanning. The yan leg is the masculine leg or the bent leg because there's more weight in it. And the yin leg is the feminine leg that straightens without locking. And they take turns doing this. It's very equity conscious. All right, so once you feel that, once you get to the right side for you now here, you're ready to bring your left forward, and all your forward back weight shifts will start with the left foot. The front leg comes right out from the hip. The back foot's at a 45-degree angle to it. So here's your front foot. Here's your back foot. And then you come forward for around the platter in chest-high water. Other principles important and shared by Qigong and T'ai Chi Chih are circularity. You can see the circle here of this platter that moves back to my heart. The inhale here and the exhale as that circle comes forward and back. Forward with the inhale and back with the exhale. Gliding through the center. So if you can come forward on the inhale with me and back on the exhale away from me, and not too fast with the arms. Keep the arms going the same speed as the feet. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's about that much forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's good. So you're slowing down your hand movements here. The hands don't lead. They just basically follow the rhythm of the feet. Good. Let's bring that left foot back for you. Inhale to ground both sides here by bending the knees just a little bit on the exhale. Shifting laterally towards your left this way to bring your right heel forward. And you're ready for around the platter on your right side. The front leg now is pretty straight, but not locked. That's yin. This is yang. It's got a little bit more bend in it. And this is around the platter, right side. It's very slow. Slowness, continual movement or continuity, circularity or the awareness of how much circling we're doing. Think of the word circulation, right? We're connecting all of this to that. And that slow breathing helps your heart rate slow down too. And not deal so much with modern life for about an hour of focus, concentration, connecting the breath to the movement. When that happens, we get the chi, or in yoga, we would call it the prana. One more. Now bring that foot back. Feet are in a V. Inhale to center and ground. And our next move will be, after we've grounded a few times here, around the platter variation, shifting to the right to bring the left forward, picking up a ball of energy and letting it go. Two more on your left side. Bring that foot back in. Inhale to ground. Shift towards your left. Bring your right forward. Around the platter variation, right side. Two more. Last one of around the platter variation. Beautiful. Inhale and ground it through the earth. Double ground it. We finished the right side. That's where we double ground. And prepare for our next move, which is bass drum. The drum is about the width of your breasts out here. Your left heel is moved forward, and you're ready to inhale forward and exhale back, enveloping your whole body with the sense of the chi here as the elbows move back with the hips in a circle. Be sure to breathe. The inhale is forward here towards me. The exhale is back away from me towards your back wall or windows, whatever's behind you. Exhale back towards it. And inhale towards the screen. But give yourself time to flow forward and flow back. And one more of bass drum. And this will be the same arm movements on the opposite side. Inhale here to ground it. Shift it once towards the left. Prepare the fingers for the drum and your right foot forward, just the heel dropped. And start your bass drum again. Forward towards me and back towards the wall behind you. And don't forget that your separation between the heels needs to be so that you don't draw yourself off balance here. So a little bit of separation laterally. And the back foot is at a 45-degree angle to the front, which is coming with the energy straight forward and straight back. With a little bit of awareness of moving towards the back foot here. So there's a little bit of side to side in this. You're coming across two hemispheres of the brain. So here's your inhale. And here's your exhale back toward the toes and back. When that happens, those changes while you glide through the center, the toes in front come up. Let's do one more here. Now the heel comes up, glide, and now the toes, but it's a very slow process. One more. Yes, good. Now inhale and sink it through the earth, double ground it. Be sure to lengthen the spine. Good. Now coming over towards your right side to shift, bring your left heel forward. We're going to be doing the two daughters, daughter on the mountaintop, which will be here with the fingertips out this way and coming up in a circle to sink through the center on the exhale with the left hand close to the body. And that's your daughter on the mountaintop. Two circles intersecting, the wrists cross with the fingertips up. Beautiful. That looks really nice. Take your time. Inhale together. Now take your time to exhale back down. Good. You want to get as much juice out of this as you can. Have you ever used a juice squeezer for oranges? It's kind of like you want to squeeze that last bit of breath through the juice squeezer. I have an old-fashioned manual one, so just make a lot of time for that exhale here through the central meridian as the left hand crosses behind. Last one. Nice. Okay. Bringing that left foot in. Single grounding. Preparing for your right foot, you'll need to first shift towards your left and then release it. Bring the palms out like this and then coming up as if you're going to the top of two mountains and then through the central trail here with the exhale. Big circle or two circles cutting down, cut down the middle as they cross each other. That's nice. It's really coming along well. Just make sure that you go slowly. Yeah, good. And one more now to finish up daughter on the mountaintop. Good. Bring the foot back in. Inhale. Basically, to do a nice, long, slow exhale with the fingers, almost like you're sleepwalking. Let's double ground it here. And slowly exhale it out. Sometimes inhaling through the straw really helps to remember how to breathe. I sometimes forget too. And now we're going to start with daughter in the valley. You'll start on top of the mountains, fingertips as if you could touch two mountains up here. And your left heel comes forward. And then you inhale through the center, through the central trail, and exhale back in awe at how it is to go over and look down at what you just came up. Exhale. Inhale here towards me. Exhale towards your back wall. Take it slow. I'll move back a little bit so you can see my feet. Notice how when you go forward, you wait until the back heel's ready to lift. You have to get grounded fully in front. When you go back, you begin to straighten that front leg and the back leg begins to bend. allowing the toes to come up. So it's gliding through the center is important. Taking your time with this. 2 more on your left side. Last one. Good. Bringing the foot back. Single grounding. And shifting is also single towards the left side. Daughter in the valley on your right side now. Your right heel just moved forward. As if you had all the time in the world to come forward and all the time in the world to go back. Nothing else is happening in this moving meditation but this feeling of something taking forever to move forward and forever to move back. And this kind of unwinding of the body is so good for the mind and body connection that we need. Let's do one more on this side. Daughter in the valley will then come to a graceful conclusion. Double grounding. As you inhale here to pick up energy with the palms facing up, and you turn them over to exhale down towards the earth in resistance to gravity and rest on globes of energy. Let's do that one more time. Coming to the heart with the inhale. And coming back down towards the abdomen with the exhale and sending the energy to the feet, resting on globes of energy. Nice. Very good. All right. Our next move is going to be carry the ball to the side. We'll be doing 3 cycles of 3 from the right side to the left and then back. Carry the ball to the side. First involves a wind up. You wind up here at the hips, pick up the ball, and then release your left heel out, straight leg. This is bent, the one that has the ball above it. And you're going to shift over, bringing the energy to the opposite leg. And that leg will bend 3 times. Here's the third one. Then you bring out the yin leg or straight leg and exhale. Wind up again. And we repeat 2 more cycles of this. And notice how the weight shift carries the ball for you. Last cycle of 3. Sink it through the earth. Wind up to go back the opposite way. Sink that ball. Wind up, carry it again. And last carry. Sink it to the earth and very carefully walk back to the center, because when you get this slow with your body, it's even hard to walk. I want a slow walk back to the center. Good. That was carry the ball to the side. And our next move is push-pull, followed by pulling in the energy. So now we are preparing for our front back weight shift. We just did the side to side with carry the ball to the side. Sinking, grounding, preparing for push, pull, an exhale forward and an inhale back in a circle of energy that comes back to the heart on your inhale. Exhale towards me this time in a circle and inhale back towards your back wall. It's a reverse breathing practice. Notice how all your joints are getting more supple now, and that even the turn of the wrist is not as abrupt as it would have been at the beginning. So yes, we're getting warmed up here. Synchronicity is what we're after. Synchronicity meaning everything is moving as one. The breath, the movement, and the focus of the mind that takes us there is connected in this circle. Two more. Last one. Good. Bring the foot in. Prepare to ground. Single grounding. Shifting towards your left. Releasing your right leg, which is straight at this point. The back leg is bent. Push. Pull. It's called giving and receiving energy. You give the energy out. You take it back to your heart, but it's always a moving circle without stopping. The rhythm really starts in the feet. So this is where the hands want to direct things, but let the body all move together as one, if possible, slowly. And last one of push, pull. Bringing that right leg back, inhale to ground. And we prepare for the companion move to this one, which is pulling in the energy from the most distant star in the universe through the fingertips. It includes a visualization of actually imagining that you could do this. Like wish upon a star. Would you wish upon a star? Disney movie, maybe? Those of you Disney lovers. Inhale. When you wish upon a star, you all know that song. Makes no difference where you are. So you can wish upon it, but not necessarily be there, right? You can see the stars in your mind, and that's a visualization. You take it in really slowly, that energy from the distant star, through your fingertips. Of course, you're starting with your left leg, so your left leg is forward now. We'll do one more on this side. And then draw that foot back. And inhale to exhale and ground. Singly, because we're going to go to the other side. Shift left to release your right heel. And notice that your fingertips are right up, waiting for the star to bring in the energy to you on that right side. Now connect both hemispheres of the brain. Inhale here. Exhale to the other side of the brain as you exhale back to your back foot. Let the circle carry you from one side of the body to the other energetically. Three more here. Last one. That looks really good. You guys are so engaged. I love it. Differently, but engaged. We're never any of us the same. So engagement is different for each person. Inhale and sink it down. And our next moves will be the taffies. So preparing for those, I always think we should hydrate here because we're using the breath, we're going slowly, da-da-da-da. And so the hydration is important. Always needs to be water and not soda or coffee. You don't need the sugar high, nor do you need the caffeine high. Just need to drink water. So now we're all the way down here. We've done pulling in the energy, and now we're at the taffies. There's four of them. The first is pulling taffy. Then we have three variations: anchor, wrist circles, and perpetual motion taffy. These are placed here so well in terms of what comes next. Because Justin Stone was a musician, so I always think this is so musical in that when you do the taffies, they're highly energetic, but they're really slow. It's kind of like the problem in Allegro in the symphony. If it goes too fast, the players can't do it. So don't go too fast for the taffies. As you move slowly with this, feel the resistance through the center. Feel the separation of the palms that happen. That happens as you do your taffy here. There's sticky stuff between the palms. And we'll do one more of basic taffy here. And sink it through the earth. Being sure to define your grounding. And then we go into the first variation, which is anchor taffy. Your left foot will always move first, taking it forward on the shift, coming back to the center to square the hips, to ground, and to move it to the side, like basic taffy returns. Then the foot that was the anchor becomes the front leg. They're always exchanging. In a picture of what I think of as equity, that we get to do the yin moves where the yang was, and the yang move where the yin was. So there's just this beautiful exchange all the time. And now you move to the side. First, you move forward, anchoring the back leg. And then that anchor will come in when you move to the side. And then essentially the anchor becomes the front foot and the other leg is anchored. Good. Anchor taffy now moves to the right and then forward with the opposite foot. Grounding it, and then to the side. Beautiful. And our next move, if you come to the center here, is circles taffy, a little bit like jump roping. So this is a really wonderful kids move. Feet are in a V, and you're going to sink and rise. Sink, rise to the balls of the feet. Sink, rise, sink. And now bring your left hand under the right elbow and pull to the left. And then remember to ground it. Here's your grounding. That's the exhale. And now inhale to start again. Whoops, wrong way. Good, now we go winding up and pulling. Sinking, preparing, and doing that again. First, it's a down movement. 2, 3 is the wind up here, and then you pull across. And then stand to inhale and start it all over again. 1, 2, 3, wind up and pull it across. And sink it. And prepare again. 1, 2, 3. Always reminds me of being on the playground with a bunch of kids, in this case, girls, when I was little, because we were the only ones allowed to jump rope. And we're jump roping and we exchange the rope so that everybody gets to do it. 1, 2, 3. And here's the exchange of rope for me. It's yours. 2 more. And we'll do 1 more of these. They're so beautiful. Circles taffy. And circles taffy comes to a graceful conclusion by fully grounding it into the earth, doubling. And our third variation is perpetual motion taffy with heel step. Coming to the center where you've got lots of room here. Perpetual motion taffy, left hand under right elbow. Your right hand is over the arm here at heart projector move. It's going to be like this when you pull them apart, and you'll do a heel step back the other way. Once you get fully grounded on this foot, then you're ready to drop the other heel, but you have to lift it first. So you flex the foot and drop right on the heel and move the energy towards the toes. Perpetual motion taffy with heel step. Many people do it faster, but I like the feeling of slowness as the energy moves towards the toes. Then you lift the foot. And it does really feel like you're moving through something sticky or heavy air as those palms pull apart and the weight shift takes you over to this side as you lift the foot and you move to the opposite side. And then get ready to lift the foot again. Great. Okay, let's do 2 more of these. These are among my favorites here. It takes some control, but once you're through most of the practice, as we are getting through, then it gets easier than if we'd done this at the beginning. It's perfectly placed in this 19 moves, I think. And that's, I think, because Justin Stone was a musician. He worked with another teacher of his, but Wen Shan Wang. But I think the musical part comes through here. And this next move that we're going to do is working the pulley. So now you've got your left hand forward. Your right hand is under the hip, ready to move, and you're going to cross body here. Cross body. If you were facing another person, like you're facing me, then as my hand here moves towards you, your hand moves towards my shoulder. And we're just doing shoulder to shoulder. And it's really quite slow. So yeah, you might need to feel the foot move, sliding across. I slide it across the carpet myself. Sliding on the back ball of the foot now, and now sliding on my heel as I come back. Forward, sliding on the back ball of the foot to make the turn, and back, sliding on the front heel. And right now your dominant hand is your left, and your dominant foot is your left. So the breath connection is dominated here by who's in front. The other hand is the companion hand, and both are making a circle, one back and one forward. Last one on your left. Good, bring that foot back in, ground it through the earth, and now your right foot's going to move forward with your right hand from the heart area, and your left hand will be underneath the hip bone as you move forward, touching the shoulder over there and then touching the shoulder over here. Good. That's really nice. I love the slowness. And last one here of working the pulley on your right side. Let's draw that foot back in and double ground the move. Beautiful. And our next moves come to the head. These are light at the top of the head and light at the temple. And they also are pretty energetic, but moving really slowly. You should be able to feel the energy outside the head, even though your hands are not touching. There's something there. Feet in a V, sinking down. Bring the energy to above the skull here, right at the back of the skull. And the palms are facing in a circle here, making a circle in the center of them. Sinking and rising 3 times. Light at the top of the head. Now holding the palms away from each other, but feel the circle there of energy. Circle the energy forward with the fingertips up 6 to 9 times. Hold the energy in the inhale and sink and rise and let it go. Out with the palms facing down, returning to the heart area with your left hand above the left, your left hand above the right. And sink it down through the central meridian, exhaling, bringing the energy to outside the temples here. Light at the temple. Exhaling and inhaling. Hold the energy here. And now circle the palms with the fingertips up 6 to 9 times. Hold the energy, inhale it, and sink and rise and let it go 3 times. On your third one, turn the palms towards facing the earth, still in your circle. Bring the left hand back to the heart on the inhale. Breathe it in. Sink it down slowly through the central body as you prepare for a joyous breath. Maybe a little bit wider, but feet still in a V. Coming to the balls of the feet with the inhale here. And then sinking it down 4 times on the exhale, dropping the heels the 3rd time. Breathe in a lot of air there. Drop down. Last one of 4. Beautiful. Inhale slowly. Exhale, releasing into the earth. And preparing for passing clouds, starting with your right hand over here. And looking forward as the mirror hand passes the face with each hand. And bringing the foot back in to ground. Inhale and exhale. Six healing sounds. Five chewies. With heel step. Mixing the energy of yin and yang. Coming into cosmic consciousness pose. Your left heel will be against your right ankle bone. Inhaling here. Bringing your left hand close to the heart. And your right hand outside. Looking over the window of eternity and through it. Interlacing the fingers, bringing them overhead in gratitude for thousands of years of Qigong, later Tai Chi Chuan, many forms of Tai Chi, and the work of Wen Shan Wang Chinese Cultural Center, and his pupil Justin Stone, who created T'ai Chi Chih in 1974. With gratitude to every student who enjoys this as much as I do. Thank you for your practice.